Hi, I'm Matt Mehalik. I'm the director of the Breathe Project. Thank you very much for hosting this hearing and giving us an opportunity to comment on the Clairton Coke Works Title V permit. ACHD must revise the permit so that ongoing air pollution episodes at the Clairton Coke Works stop occurring. The Allegheny County Health Department has issued at least 13 enforcement orders and notices of violation to the U.S. Steel Clairton Coke Works since April of 2019, the time that the Coke Works fire episode was supposedly fixed. ACHD has fined U.S. Steel over $1.73 million for penalties associated with emissions violations over this period. U.S. Steel is paying approximately $217,000 per quarter in penalties since April of 2019. This is in addition to the $2.7 million U.S. Steel paid as part of the June 2019 settlement agreement for violations stemming from 2017 and 2018. The permit structure and fine structure are clearly not working. This history of paying fines instead of reducing emission violations indicates a willingness of U.S. Steel to operate the Clairton Coke Works in a pay-to-pollute relationship with ACHD. This needs to end, as these emissions are harming our region's residents. Pollution from the Clairton Coke Works must be reduced. The Coke Works is the largest coke plant in the U.S. and has been a major source of air pollution in our region for decades. Nearly 90% of the point source cancer risk estimated in Allegheny County is attributable to coke oven emissions, with 90% of those emissions coming from one facility, the Clairton Coke Works. According to the PA State Implementation Plan's emissions inventory, the Clairton Coke Works emits over 554 tons of PM 2.5 per year, which is around 25% of all particle emissions from point sources in the county. And this does not include any emissions from unplanned leaks breakdowns, which are in addition. The Liberty PM 2.5 monitor, the monitor most impacted by emissions from the Clairton Coke Works, ranked in the worst 10% of all monitored locations in the U.S., using the latest qualified EPA data. During the first 51 days of 2022, 23 days, or 45% of all days, had air rated as not good in Allegheny County. In 2021, there were 189 days, or 52% of all days, rated as not good. Based on the EPA's highest 10 nowcast AQI locations data, which tracks which regions of the country rank in the top 10 worst airsheds, our region ranked 19 days, or 36% of all days in 2022 on this list, and number one worst 7 of these days, or 13% of all days of 2022. Clearly what we have is not working. This permit has been expired since 2017 and was created over a decade ago. It's time to update this permit so that our region's air is improved, our region's health is improved, and impacts from this egregious source, the U.S. Steel Clairton Coke Works, ends. Thank you.